All right, everyone, this isn't your usual update reminder. Apple has just pushed out a really important security patch, and if you've got an iPhone or an iPad, you're going to want to pay close attention. Think of this as a critical security briefing for your device.
And look, that's not me being dramatic. That is a direct quote from security analysts talking about this release. We are not talking about new emojis or minor bug fixes here. We're talking about a serious security vulnerability that could leave your device completely exposed. The bottom line, this update is urgent. So what's all the fuss about, really? Well, it all comes down to a major flaw in your device's core security system. And we're going to break it down using a really simple analogy that involves a security guard.
So get this, the brand new iOS update, version 26.3, patches a grand total of 39 different security vulnerabilities. But out of all of those, there's one in particular that has security experts on high alert, mainly because it's already being actively used by attackers out in the wild. The component with this really severe flaw is called DLD, which stands for Dynamic Link Editor. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but stick with me. Its job is actually pretty simple to understand. It's a core piece of the operating system that's in charge of loading all your apps and making sure they have what they need to run properly. And this is a brilliant way to picture it. Just imagine DeWild as the digital security guard standing at the front gate of your iPhone. Every single app, every process, it all has to check in with this guard before it's allowed to do anything at all on your device. It's a fundamental checkpoint. And that, right there, is the heart of the problem. This vulnerability is like finding out that the security guard is, well, really easy to trick. If an attacker can get past that guard, they can run what's called arbitrary code. In plain English, that means they can run any program they want, giving them effectively total control over your device. So, how would an attacker actually use this flaw? This is where it gets genuinely concerning. You see, this flaw makes a certain type of attack possible, one that's in a whole different league from what most of us are used to. It's called a zero-click exploit. Now, we're all familiar with phishing, right? You get a sketchy email or a weird text, you make the mistake of clicking a bad link, and boom, you're in trouble. But a zero-click exploit, it requires absolutely nothing from you. No click, no download, not a single interaction. The attack can happen totally silently in the background, maybe just from you visiting a compromised website. And when we say total control, what does that actually mean for you? It means an attacker could potentially read all your private messages. They could secretly turn on your camera and microphone. They could track your exact location. We're talking about gaining access to the very core of your device's operating system. It's a complete invasion of your privacy. Yeah, this isn't some low-level scam. As security experts have put it, this is espionage-level stuff. These are the kinds of sophisticated tools used by governments or spyware companies to target very specific people, like journalists, activists, or high-profile executives. The fact that a patch for this kind of threat is now available to all of us is a very, very big deal. And that brings us to the most critical point of all, urgency. I know it's tempting to hit that remind me later button, but with a vulnerability this severe, waiting is a genuine risk. You are in a race against time, whether you realize it or not. You see, as soon as Apple pushes out a patch like this, a clock starts ticking. The good guys, security researchers, they immediately start picking it apart to understand it. But at the exact same time, the bad guys are doing the same thing. They're trying to reverse engineer the fix to figure out what the original flaw was, so they can build a tool, an exploit, to attack anyone who hasn't updated yet. The longer you wait, the more risk you're at. Okay, I know we've established the threat is pretty serious, but the good news is that the solution is incredibly simple. Seriously, protecting yourself is going to take like 10 minutes of your time. Let's walk through exactly what you need to do. First off, who needs this update? Well, this patch is for anyone with an iPhone 11 or newer. It also covers a pretty wide range of iPads. We're talking all the Pro models, plus the more recent Air, Mini, and standard iPads. Basically, if your device is running a recent version of iOS, you need to install this. The process itself, honestly, couldn't be any easier. Just grab your device, open up Settings, go to General, and then tap on Software Update. You should see the patch waiting for you right there. Just tap to install. It's best to do it while you're on Wi-Fi and plugged into a charger, and that's it. You're done. And this quote really just sums the whole thing up perfectly. Apple has done its part. They found the vulnerability, they built a fix, and they pushed it out to everyone. They've patched the door. But the final and most crucial step is up to you. You're the one who has to actually lock it. So the question is really simple. Apple has patched the door. Have you locked yours yet? Don't put it off. Go into your settings right now and install that update.